Look at Lambeau Field, November 6th. November 6th.
Wow.
Who says there's global warming, Chris?
Don't get me started, Mike.
I knew that was
Don't get me freaking started on the conversation.
Right. It's a joke, please. It's a joke. Snowing at Lambeau Field. They're throwing snowballs at practice. Lambeau Field will be the site of Sunday's game between the Panthers and the Packers. And that is the template for the first question of what's more likely. Whose struggles are more likely to continue against Carolina, the Packers' offense or the Packers' defense?
Yeah, well, the Packers defense played well last week. You know, they kept the team in there for a long time, even though the offense couldn't get going. And I mean, it was 6-0 forever, and they gave them chances. But I think ultimately, if I'm going to pick here, I'm going to say the defense's struggles continue more than anything. I just look at the offense. It's been on an upward trend really since week 2 or 3 of the NFL season. Last week, yes, they certainly had a hiccup, didn't play well. But I just look at them and go, Aaron Rodgers, I think LaFleur and them will get back to the running game a little bit. And the Panthers offense, as you know, it has some sneaky talent. With McCaffrey, yes, we know about him, but Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore and Norv Turner is very creative in what he does, where I think he poses some problems for that defense this week.
And keep in mind, Christian McCaffrey, the Panthers running back, missed practice on Wednesday with a knee injury. It's believed to be a maintenance day. They're trying to keep him together for as long as they can because he's the heart and soul of that team now moving forward. And I agree with you. The Packers' defense has been gradually disintegrating over the past month and a half.
Yep.
The offense has gotten better and better. They just had one of those days where they walked into a buzzsaw, and it happens. And now you move on to your next team. And I think the Panthers are going to ultimately regret very severely the fact that the Packers lost to the Chargers last week, because I don't think the Packers are going to let it go to 2 in a row, and I think they're going to have everything ready for the Panthers. But still, the defense is going to have a hard time. All right, next one. Quarterback more likely to be on his current team next year, Derek Carr or Phillip Rivers? What's more likely?
Man, this is a tough one here. This really is, but I'm going to go with Derek Carr. I am. I mean, Derek Carr's played really well. I mean, he had the bonehead mistake in Green Bay. But other than that, I can't look at too many moments where I go, ooh, I don't like that. Now, Phillip Rivers has played well, too. Don't get me wrong. But he is at an age, and I do see skills declining. And at some point, it's an organization that needs to move on and start the next chapter. So if you're going to make me choose one or the other there, which you are, I'm going to say that Derek Carr is more likely to be on the Raiders. They're exceeding expectations right now. And I just have a hard time if they continue to do this and just hang around the playoff conversation. Hard, I think, as an organization to say, no, it's the quarterback's fault, we're going to move on, because he's been pretty spot on right so far.
I think it's more likely that Carr will be back, but I still think it's close to being unlikely that he'll be back either. And I look, he made some comments after the win over the Lions where, you know, we've changed so many things since I've been here. Hopefully we won't make changes. Yeah, hopefully they won't get rid of me. I'm building my house next door to John Gruden in Las Vegas. She can't leave me behind. But Mike Mayock said it himself when they were evaluating Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins before the draft. Why are you looking at those guys? It's simple. We have a constant obligation to try to upgrade at every position, including quarterback. Yep. And that was the clearest indication that I could discern that the Raiders are not committed long-term to Derek Carr. They've escaped all the guaranteed money after this year. It becomes a year-to-year contract. I think it's a foregone conclusion. Rivers isn't going to be back unless he engineers a playoff run. But I think it's still far from being a likelihood or even a probability that Carr will be back. And I guess here's the easiest way to say it. If either of those teams doesn't make the playoffs, I think there's a very high chance that their quarterbacks won't be back next year. Getting to the playoffs is going to be the key to save Derek Carr in Oakland or Las Vegas or Phillip Rivers.
Let me just say one thing
LA.
there, too. Derek Carr, find a new house in Las Vegas. Find a new house. Don't live next to John Gruden. I'm just saying. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. It's not smart. I don't know any other way to say it. I don't. I just would not have suggested for any starting quarterback, and especially a starting quarterback for John Gruden, who's psycho at quarterbacks. He'll evaluate you while you're at home. There's another family barbecue. He could be over here at the facility working. Oh, there he is playing horse in the driveway. Look, can't even hit a three-pointer. Oh, gosh, he's my damn quarterback. I mean, that's the things coaches do. He's setting himself up for, if you don't play well, damn, if he wasn't, always in the backyard with his friends at the pool, maybe he'd play better. That's where I would be scared. I would tell Derek Carr, you got a lot of money, man. Build another house somewhere else. I really would.
I really hate to say this. That may be the best point you've ever made. and I wish I'd thought of it, right? That's the thing. It's a really good point when somebody makes it and you'd never thought of it and you're like, damn, I wish I'd thought of that. He's going to be like looking out the window seeing what time they turn the lights off.
No doubt.
Right?
Right. Gruden's going to be like, oh, gosh, he's getting up at 8:15. My quarterback's freaking lazy. What the hell's going on here? And
Gruden's – well, no. Gruden's not going to be there. He's going to have Mrs. Gruden.
He might. Exactly right.
When you get up, go see if they've taken the garbage out yet next door.
Right.
Keep an eye on what time you see him roll out of there. Listen for his car to start. Because he's not there. He's grinding.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Derek, you're making a mistake, buddy. All right, which banged-up quarterback is more likely to throw 3 touchdowns this week? Patrick Mahomes against the Titans or Jacoby Brissette against the Dolphins?
I'm going Mahomes here all the way. I mean, 3 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes is like, ho-hum. 3 touchdowns. We won't even talk about it on the news. That's what he does, right? That's just like everybody else throwing 1 touchdown. So, yeah, I do. And I think the Titans, they're aggressive in the secondary. It will lend itself to some plays, some big plays in the pass game. And with Jacoby Brissette, his injury being a little more recent, maybe they rely on the run game a little bit more when they get close down in the red zone, too. So that's why I go Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's a greater likelihood that Mahomes is going to play. He fully participated in practice on Wednesday. Brissette was limited. They've called Brissette week to week with that MCL injury. There is no guarantee that he's going to play, and I think it's a much greater chance we're going to see Mahomes. Last one. Which New York coach is more likely to get fired if he loses this week in the battle of New York/New Jersey? Pat Shurmur of the Giants or Adam Gase of the Jets?
Man, I hate talking about guys getting fired, but I
No, you don't.
Well, I do, because I know these guys are people who are like putting their heart and soul into the job here. But
they all do.
I know.
All 32 coaches. Look,
I know.
Let me just say this.
Right.
Let's just. To the extent that there is some belief that we shouldn't talk about coaches getting fired, number one, it happens every year.
I know.
If they quit firing 25% of the coaches every year, it would no longer be a point of conversation. Second, they all have buyouts. They get paid to not coach at least for 1, 2, or 3 years, except for the guys whose contracts are expiring. And third, it goes with the territory, Chris. This is part of what they signed up for.
I'm still allowed not to like
tears.
talking about it. I mean, all your points are yes, they're spot on, but I'm still allowed not to like talking about it. All right, you jerk, okay? But if you're gonna make me do that, I'm going with Adam Gase. I just don't think it's in the Giants' DNA right now, and especially with a rookie quarterback, Daniel Jones, who's in the midst of this rookie year and supplanting Eli Manning and all of those kind of things. I feel like the Jets are more of the organization that would make the move. I feel like the Jets fans and media following here in the New York area is a little more, what do I want to say, vibrant or just mad at Adam Gase as compared to the Giants with Pat Shurmur, because I think the Giants fans expected this season to be somewhat around where it is. Maybe not, 2-6, or are they 2-6 or 2-7? 2-7, but I don't think there was expectations. With the Jets, I think everybody thought, ooh, we might be competitive this year. And I think that's where I go with Adam Gase.
Yeah, and look, I think on the merits, it would make more sense for Shurmur to be in trouble because we've seen a bigger body of work from him over the last year and a half. But there is a sense that the dam is starting to break for the Jets. And the more that Adam Gase says he doesn't care about it, I think that makes it even worse. There's a certain point where you have to care about it, or the fans are just going to think you don't care about anything. Do you care about winning? Do you care about anything? What are you worried about? What are you doing? And I think that, for a lot of these coaches, they don't spend enough time playing the game of getting the fans to believe that they truly are committed to everything the fans are committed to, and that they care as much as the coaches care.
Right.
And it just feels like, and it also doesn't help that the media coverage of the Jets has been far more negative in New York than it's been of the Giants.
It has.
That adds to it as well.
Yep.
And I think what's going to happen is at some point Woody Johnson's going to come back. He's going to fire everybody. And he's going to hire Rex Ryan. That's what I think is going to happen. Nothing's going to happen this year, but I think it's going to. I think it put me down in the time capsule for that one. Woody Johnson will be back within the next 2 years, and he'll hire Rex Ryan.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to respond to that. That would be unbelievable. It really would be. I wouldn't suggest it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.